Hey, hey. All right, welcome to episode 15 of Lunch Break with Ekow Mensah, and it's Wednesday, Woman Crush Wednesday, and I'm so happy every Wednesday to bring your way Lunch Break focused on women and sponsored by the Woman Rising Network. I am so excited every Wednesday to come tell you why I'm passionate about women. I'm passionate about the success of women, and I believe women are the greatest things that God ever made, greatest creatures of God, and why I strongly believe that the future of Africa is women. So welcome to Wednesday. I hope your day has been productive. This morning I shared an amazing article that is very close to my heart, and I'm hoping that most of you have seen it. It's about 5 outstanding women, I call them go-getters, that inspire me, and I believe are also inspiring other women and other people out there to dream big. These are women that have big dreams, women that want to do amazing things in this world, and most importantly, women that want to leave a legacy in this world. Women that have focused on building a brand that is synonymous with impact. And I'm excited to have featured them on today's article, from Vera, whose passion for nutrition and feeding young people right, babies and young people right, has been something that I've admired for a very long time. We have the boys doctor Ethel Ajilolo Mafo. Honestly, this lady is relentless in her campaign to ensure that young boys are raised right, and a lot of the challenges and issues that we are facing at home, at work, and even how men deal with women and everything comes from how we raise these young people. And Ethel has been passionate about this for over a decade, and I really do admire her and how far she's come with Junior Shapers Africa. And of course, I also featured Selassie. And Selassie, well, I don't remember Selassie without a smile. She's always happy, she's always smiling, and she's always giving her best to everything that she puts her mind to. And she's done so well with JSET Consulting, she's done well with Delcy, she's done well with the 360 Business Clinic, and anything else that she's been involved in. And I'm excited to have brought her to your notice. And of course, there is Doris Dede Donko, one of the new people that I met recently, but reading her profile and seeing all the amazing things she's doing, plus other things, I couldn't have done this article without her. And of course, to my friend Selom, congratulations, you have and still continue to build a brand that is synonymous in interior design, quality standards, and also raising other interior designers almost every year. And I'm honestly very proud of all the 5 women that I featured today on my article on 5 go-getters that are inspiring others to dream big. And hopefully next week I should bring you another set of women that are doing amazing things. And then if you're interested in any way to be featured or to be part of Woman Rising, just go to womanrising.org/join us, and we'll be more than happy to bring you into the family. But today we are looking at personal branding and why women probably need it more than men, why it's important for women to focus on building their personal brands. And I'm hoping that at the end of this session I'll be able to convince you that personal branding is not just about self-selling. Okay, so women need personal branding probably more than men, and I'm taking a close look at the reasons why I believe this is so. First of all, personal branding has nothing to do with self-selling or overly putting yourself out there. I have had an encounter with women for the past 10 years, and whenever I talk to them, especially those that, because I run Woman Rising, okay, and Woman Rising basically is a network of professional women, and our focus is to help them to rise in their careers and in their businesses. And sometimes you encounter women that are doing amazing things, and you wonder why these women are not role models. These women are not the ones that these young girls that we have are not emulating and all that. You wonder why. and then you just realize that information about them is either scanty or non-existent anywhere, and especially now that we have online, you meet these women in person, and they shy away from anything that has to do with social media, anything that has to do with personal branding, or anything that has to do with putting themselves out there. And I've heard some reasons. I remember our first most outstanding women entrepreneurs list, and this is a list that we do, 100 most outstanding women entrepreneurs list, and it captures 100 outstanding women entrepreneurs and the things that they are doing. And when we released the first list, the vision was to be able to put a lot of the content out in videos, interview the women and put them out and all that. And you have no idea, out of the 100, I think almost like 98 of them objected. I think now it's better, and this is like 5-6 years ago, so now it's better. A lot more women are putting themselves out there and all that, so it was very difficult getting women to even agree to an interview or a video interview, and most of them were open to maybe putting them in front of some young women and they mentoring them or helping them, but they were very, very opposed to putting any content about them online, and it was quite disheartening because a lot of the time I run Girl Empowered as well, and this is for young girls in SHS, and whenever we do our Girl Empowered conference and we ask them who their role models are, unfortunately they mention names that is only because they are limited by what they see and who they see, so they mention all these celebrities, they mention all these foreign artists, and it's like, there's no even balance of content and personalities that they can read about, they can watch, and they can learn from and emulate. So a lot of the times the sense of all that is lost, because when you ask them who the role models are and the people that they are looking up to, it's quite disheartening. It's mostly influencers, celebrities, and TV personalities, and that's what they see, and there's nothing wrong with it because some of these people are doing amazing things. But there's so many women out there, and sometimes you think about it, when you ask even older women who their role models are, mostly it's about foreign people that they know. So they mentioned the Oprah Winfrey's and then the Michelle Obamas, and it's only because these people and they put themselves out there. If they had shown away from putting themselves out there or building a certain personal brand for themselves, would you know them enough to admire them? So personal branding is very, very important. It has nothing to do with self-selling or self-promotion. So that's one of the myths I want to demystify. It's nothing to do with self-selling or self-promotion. It's honestly just putting out there content about your skill set, content about your knowledge, content about your personality, content about the things that you seek to attract and the things that you seek to give to this world. It literally just shows you, it tells the world, the value that you bring to the table. That's really it. Okay, Jeff Bezos once said, personal branding is what people say when you're not in the room. Personal branding is what people say when you're not in the room. And there's a lot of noise going on, a lot of things happening, a lot of people putting themselves out there, and one thing I've seen is that most of the women that are not open to putting themselves out there in line with personal branding are actually the people that have substance, the people that have proven track record of what they can do. And that's the sad thing, because for those that have proven track record of what they can do, they are the ones that are not open to putting themselves out there. But those that are the loudest are the people that when you extend to them opportunities, you get disappointed, because it is always substance over hype. But those that have the substance are the ones that are not open to the hype. And those that have the hype sometimes, unfortunately, do not have the substance. So then how do we even the playing field? How do we balance the scale? By putting a lot more women of substance out there, by encouraging women to pursue personal branding. And that's being intentional about putting out content that showcase the value that you bring to the table. And that's my definition of what personal branding is. Being intentional about putting out the content that demonstrates the value that you bring to the table. That's basically it. So in a conversation with one of my very good friends, she was like, oh, I'm quite skeptical. I don't want people to know about, personal things, my family, my kids and all that. And I said, they will only know when you put them out there. I mean, there is no paparazzi out there that is looking to put you and your kids out there, unless maybe there's some controversy about you and then people are interested in knowing more about you. But beyond that, even in the midst of controversy, you would want to be ahead of the communication by putting out authentic information about you that people can use as reference point. So then if you don't want to put your kids out there, nobody's asking you to. If you don't want to put your spouse out there, nobody's asking you to. Put out there the content that reflects the value that you bring to the table. And it is important for women to do this for several reasons that I'm going to talk about. But now I'm emphasizing what personal brand is and what personal brand is not. Again, it has nothing to do with self-selling. It has nothing to do with personal promotion or whatever you are opposed to. It is just putting out there authentic and intentional information that demonstrates the value that you bring to the table. And that's just it. So that when your name is mentioned, it is synonymous with something of value that you can use to leverage on. All right? So let's go to my subject of the day. Why is personal branding important for women? Why should women pay attention to personal branding even more than men? And I would be happy if those that are joining me, Shadrach, Eunice, Vera, can tell me reasons that they believe personal branding is important for women and for women to focus on personal branding. And I'm just going to share very simple nuggets. One, you don't have that much time. Okay, we all have 24 hours, but you will agree with me that women have less of that, less use of the 24 hours than men. We all have 24 hours, but women have so much packed in that 24 hours that they sometimes they lose track of time. The things that women do in a day compared to the things that men do in a day, you'll be shocked that women are able to actually finish a day. Especially for those that are, married with kids, with a business or with a side business, with a full-time job, with responsibilities at church. And how do you do it? How do women do it? Because you don't have as much time as the men do. A man is like, every time is the same for a man. Every day is the same for a man, sort of. Aside the fact that some women get so busy with so many responsibilities, both home and outside, they also some of them have all these menstrual cycles that take away like a whole week of their month. Some don't, but some do. So then if a woman loses like 8 days of a month to painful menstrual cycles, or sometimes even 2 weeks, and this woman is competing with a guy in the same industry, how do you expect the woman to go ahead or to stay ahead of this man? You don't have that much time compared to the men. So then you need to optimize the system that you use to attract opportunities to yourself. Okay, I would break it down. So men have complete control of their time, complete control, because honestly we don't have a lot of natural and physical requirements or demand on our time beyond the ones we've chosen. But sometimes women don't have a choice. So if you have all these things that you need to pay attention to, you have your school, you have your full-time job, you probably have a side gig, you have your family, you have your external family, you have your kids, your husband, your boyfriend, and all these things is on your head, and you do it repetitively every day. And yet you are expected to compete evenly with men. How is that even possible? If you're a married woman, for instance, you're expected to compete with single women. If you are in school and you are working, you're expected to compete with people who are just working. Women don't have time. So because of that, personal branding enables you to be intentional about putting out content that attracts to you opportunities that you can leverage on. Personal branding. You don't have time. So then when I Google specific things that I need someone to do for me, you should come up. If you're looking to change jobs, at least build an online presence that makes it easy for people to decide that you are the person to go for. You don't have time. So whatever time that you get, make sure you're being intentional about how you want the world to perceive you. Okay? It is important. 2, there's already a perception about women that the world already has. And that's what actually gets women subdued, and the need for empowerment and getting women to have a voice and all those things. Because the world already has a perception of you, there should not be any confusion about the value you bring to the table. And one way of eliminating any form of confusion or preconceived notion of your potential and your capability is to make sure that you are intentional about putting content out there that spells out clearly what value you bring to the table. Eliminating all sorts of preconceived notion and all sorts of negative connotations and all sorts of negative perceptions that the world already has about women and their potential and ability to deliver. There's no doubt. There shouldn't be any doubt. And that's why you need to focus on putting yourself out there. Putting yourself out there intentionally. Intentionally. Leveraging opportunities that personal branding presents. There's already a perceived notion out there. And because of that, you can't risk not being intentional about personal branding. Are we getting somewhere? This is why women need personal branding, even sometimes more than men. 3, women compared to men are not good at networking. And sometimes don't even have time for it. When the men are in the bars and in the pubs and in their own circles brokering deals, women are probably at home taking care of kids or responsibilities, or in school, or even at work overworking. So because you are not statistically good at networking and you probably don't have the time for it, you need to make sure that when you put things out there, it adds value and attracts to you those opportunities that you probably would have gotten if you were actively networking. In the absence of active networking, let your brand speak for you. Women are relatively not as good with networking as men are. And it's a fact. I'm not the one saying it. You can research it. Men are relatively better at establishing rapport, at, just like that. Even in any networking events, and I do networking events, B2B Connect, you literally have to push some of the women, and it's not the same for everyone, please. I'm avoiding overgeneralizing because some women are fantastic at this. As good as you are at communication, you're not as relatively good with networking as men are. Or sometimes you're good at it, but you don't have the time. So let your personal brand, especially your digital presence or your online presence, speak for you. Are we getting somewhere? Good. So Vera says, personal branding helps for easy identification and association with one's activities. People feel sometimes comfortable when they know who is behind a particular brand. It helps with trust and credibility. Personal branding helps you, my woman, with trust and credibility. And like Vera said, it helps you to easily be identified as one that authenticates a brand. Those days when you could just push forward a brand and nobody cares who is behind it is getting, obsolete. It's getting long gone. People want to know who is behind it and what the person's belief system is, even before they patronize. So then when you put yourself out there, to authenticate a brand, it actually helps you and then brings you a bit more value. So Vera, you are completely right. Let's look at what Efwa says. So this reminds me of what Jesus asked his disciples, who do men say I am? I guess even God wanted to know if he was known right. And I like this. Are you known right? This is like a good topic for an article. Efwa, what do you say? Should we write it together? Are you known right? Because you see, like I said, there are perceptions already. It's so sad, but that is the reality we are in. When a woman becomes successful, even without paying attention to what they did to be successful, there's already a preconceived notion. And you know what the notion is. When a woman is thriving in a career, there's a preconceived notion. I mean, why? Why do we do this to our women? When a woman is ambitious, she won't take nonsense. There's a preconceived notion. When a woman is ruthless, is a problem. When she's firm, is a problem. When she's less firm, is a problem. Like whatever a woman does, there is a problem. Why? So because of that, you don't have to allow the world to define you. Define yourself. Are you known right? My fellow woman, are you known right? Or you're allowing them to speak? Some of you say, I don't care what people think. Even Jesus cared. Who are you not to care? They can say whatever they want. My sister, please, the prayer you are praying is not being answered because people are saying whatever they want. Stop being ignorant and talking rubbish. You should care what people say. You shouldn't go out of your way to correct them, especially if you know what they are saying is not right. But they need a platform, they need a place to go to authenticate or deny whatever is being said. And that is the thing that you intentionally put out there. So please, are you known right? Or you're allowing the world's perception of who you are to persist? Now, Efwa says, personal branding is the invisible PR tool. You're very right. Still learning that. In fact, it's actually a very visible PR tool. Because you see, the world is so myopic now. Even though it's overwhelmed with knowledge, we don't have time because there's so much to consume. So we don't pay attention to even validate anything. Whatever you say you are, the world believes you are. Did you know that until there's a problem that they need to verify? But whatever you say you are, the world believes you are. And I dare any of you to try it. Just put on your Facebook or on any of the social media and say that you are a cyber security expert. Just say that and keep saying that. Go and Google cybersecurity and then keep posting things on your timeline about cybersecurity. Give yourself a week and you see that people will be inviting you to come and talk about cybersecurity conference, to come and talk on cybersecurity conference, or to have I mean, come on. The world is so like, there's no substance now. So then imagine if you have substance over hype, but you're not telling the world about it. The person that is purporting themselves as a cybersecurity expert is the one that is being called. Until they are not able to demonstrate and everybody sees that they are fraud, they still get the opportunity and then you lose. Now what happens is that because they've got an opportunity and they couldn't deliver, now it affects everybody else in the gender. Please, this empowerment thing we are talking about, there are a lot of women that are already there. I always tell people that women don't need empowerment. We just need to tell our stories. Sorry, when I say we, it's in solidarity. I'm not a woman. I'm not. Honestly, don't even doubt it. Someone said, Ekow, you are in touch with your feminine side. I am. If you are born between two sisters with an incredible mom, you definitely be in touch with your feminine side. I mean, I was carrying baskets and going to the market with my mom and she was showing me off to everybody. That is my son. I'm being trained right. So I digress. Let's come back to the subject. Listen, if women don't need empowerment, you just need to tell the stories. You're doing so much. Most women I know are perfectionists. They overthink, they underdo. Because at the end of the day, they want to make sure that everything they do is perfect. So then they overthink things, but then when they start doing it, they overdo it too. So women have no problem showing evidence of their authenticity. But when you compare it to a man will probably have like a month experience in something and they are all over the place saying that they are the best at it. And a woman will have a 10-year experience and they wouldn't find it in themselves to be confident enough to talk about it. Women doubt themselves, not because they don't think they are good, but because they feel that they are not good enough. They are not there yet. What will people say? What will people think? If I post this thing, well, you overthink for everybody and you end up not posting. What will people say? Is this good enough? I have to do a bit of research. I have to be ready. I have to do my makeup. I have to do my hair. I can't. Every time I have tried to get a woman on a show, on a program, on a conference, oh my God. And I'm sure my friends Petra and all those people will testify. It's so tough. And it's not because they don't know the thing. Oh, they just doubt themselves. And that's why Woman Rising is close to my heart. It's just a cheerleading network because women have it already. Personal branding. Please, let's be intentional about putting ourselves out there. I'll come your way again next week with this subject on personal branding. My time is already up. Women, listen to me. You are enough. Okay? You don't need anybody's validation. You don't need anybody's approval to even feel enough. You are enough. Last week or a week before, I said it, that you came after Adam. What it means is that whatever mistake God have probably made with Adam, you did not experience that. Adam was a prototype. You were the product. So women are enough. That is point one. What you know is enough for someone. You probably are not at the peak of your career yet, but you know enough to share. If you're just a student, maybe in first year, you know enough of experience in SHS, so you can share. It's just the target market. If you're in university, it means that you can share with SS. If you are first year, it means that you can share with SS3. If you are in final year, you can share with university first year, second year, third year. If you are just employed, you can share your experience with how you got the job. If you're a middle manager, you can share with entry level. If you're a manager, you can share with middle managers, entry level, university SS. If you are a manager, if you're a business owner, there's so much you've already achieved, so much you've already, accumulated. So stop doubting yourself. Put out content about experience and knowledge and skills you already have. There's no pretense here because already Nangasano, you are the worst marking scheme and devil's advocate you can ever have. So it doesn't matter what anybody else says. You Nankasano, you are holding yourself back. So stop doing that. Just put it out. So don't care about what people say. Just put it out. Put content out. They will talk, but because they've seen it, whether it is negative talk or positive talk, they are still your audience. Anyway, my sisters, please, I am so passionate about you because you don't need all this empowerment thing. See, it's even a way the world is showing you that. You see, it's a counter thing because the more empowerment there is, the more it shows that you are not enough. But you are enough. What empowerment else do you need? Just put yourself out there. Put the content out there. Can't you see how exceptional you are even at work? See all these men and how lazy they are. But because of the world's perception, no matter how much you do, they still make you feel as if you're not enough. You are enough. You are enough. And if at any point in time you think you need more, don't overlook what you already have in your pursuit for gaining more. I speak to women and they want to do masters, they want to do PhD, and it's fine. But if it's because you think what you already have is not enough, then think again. Some of you spend so much time in the presence of God because you want God to validate you. What else do you need? God said, the man needs a helpmate. Think about it. You already know what the man needs. And that's why you can be of help to him. If you don't have what it takes to be of help to someone, how does God make you a helpmate? Have you seen somebody helping somebody who doesn't have something to help the person with? Think about it. You are supposed to be enough to be able to help someone. So just by being a woman, you already have the validation of God as the completion of God's creation. What else do you need? Why are you doubting? Because of some guy. Now you can't even speak. Your opinions do not matter? Come on. Who is he? Give it a few years, you will even forget about him. Because of what some boss said, because of what some teacher said, because of what some guardian or parent said. Come on. Don't do that. Stop overthinking. Stop overdoing. Stop waiting for validation of men and women. They don't care about you, so don't care about them. Just put out what you believe is the value you bring to the table and leave the rest to God. Because the miracle you're looking for is one step away from the personal branding you're not focusing on. The breakthrough you're looking for is one step away from the personal branding you're not focusing on. And this is not because I do that as a service. No. What do people say about you? That's all there is to know. Put out authentic information that will be a reference and a demonstration of the value that you bring to the table. That's what we are saying. Okay, subsequent Wednesdays, we're going to look at things like, what does your timeline say about you? Because there's already a negative perceived notion about a woman that is doing well, don't encourage it by putting out nonsense on your timelines. Some of you are always gossiping. Some of you, what is it? What is the latest? What is the latest? My sisters, please, I beg you, in the name of God, if you've never thought about this, nobody can make anybody a helpmate when that person is not enough. And that's the reason why the world subdued you all these years. The greatest inspiration you can give to anyone is by being successful. And personal branding is a demonstration of the things you've done. Allow the world to decide whatever they'll do with it. But never hold back from posting, from sharing, from encouraging, from putting out the value that you bring to the table because of what you think people will say. To people, you may never be good enough. But if you feel that you're good enough in yourself, that's all there is. And for those of you who have female kids, keep telling them, because they should never get to a point in their life where a man has to be the voice of validation for them. Never. Or what they have on, or the money they have, or the careers they have. No. They should have the mindset that because they came after Adam and God positioned them as helpmates, that is not a function. That is a validation that they have what it takes to be of help to this world. That is not a function, and that's what we get it wrong. Churches are always saying women is supposed to be a helpmate, that's why they need to submit. That's nonsense. The word helpmate is a validation of the completeness of women. And I tell you all the time, this is not something I've gone to Google or gone to study. This is wisdom and from experience. And I know, give a woman 100 cedis and what she can do with it is far more than what a man can do with the same amount. Where do you think that is coming from? We overlook the things that God has blessed women with. And the sad thing is that it's women that do that most. You see that it's women that are bringing other women down. It's women that are breaking homes. It's women that are breaking... Why? Anyway. It's okay. It's okay. It makes me sad. Because there are a lot more women in this world than men. So how come women are not on top? Because you don't work together. You don't agree. When you see a woman having something, you want it. Thank you. I am sad. because I know the power that women have, and I won't stop until every woman hears this. You are enough. It's not about your hairstyle. It's not about your makeup. It's not about your dress. It's not about your iPhone, iWatch, iMe, iDis. It's not about any of that. Stop pursuing those things. Those are vanity. You are enough. You are enough. The world consistently is telling you you're not enough, so you need a particular dress. You are not enough, so you need a particular makeup. You are not enough, so you need a particular wake up. You are not enough, so you need particular shoes. You are not enough, so you need particular bags. You are not enough because you need particular positions at work. So you are doing everything to get them. Why would a world that already has subdued you for centuries have your interest at heart? And you think they are producing things that make you feel and look good? Why? Why do you think they'll do that? You are enough. You are enough. Do you understand what I'm saying? Okay. Bye-bye. Let me just read a bit of my... I don't even know what this WKHKYD is all about. I see it everywhere, but like I told a friend of mine today, I'm on social media, but I don't think I know what's going on there. Because I'm here to inspire and to change lives. I don't know about gossips. But anyway, if Nanaba, please tell me what it is, because I've seen it everywhere, but I don't know what that acronym means. So please tell me. All right, guys, let me just read a bit of comments and then I'll say goodbye. All right, so Ifwa says, control information about your identity and the world will form its own image of you. Well, that's true. Belinda says, great education, thanks a bunch. Okay. Ifo says, thank you. Iraja says, I am enough, I am enough, I am enough. I can't emphasize that enough. Nanaba says, hey, the men are lazy, I don't mind them. You know it. Yaira says, forgive me. Come and tell me how you pronounce your first name, okay? Zijo. Okay, Yaira says, this is so deep. Yes, very, very, very deep. Men are lazy, please, I beg. Stop all this hashtag. I didn't say men are lazy. I mean, all the inventions of the world are being done by Muslim men, so stop that. I'm not saying men are not lazy, please. I'm a man, I'm not lazy. Yeah, please, I beg. This hashtag, it's not coming from me. Okay? I didn't say that. It was in context. You see, yeah, enemies of progress. You want the men to beat me. Already they are saying that I'm revealing secrets. Alright. So Yara says we're a powerhouse. Yes, you are. All we need is inside of us, of course. That's Nanaraba. Yara says latest fahun bang. Latest fahun bang. Concern is juicy. Continue. It will come to your doorstep. Just in Kwan. Hey, that's all you put. No. Yara says yes, so YKH. What does that mean? Elijah people says nonsense. Okay, you are dialing CFO's number. I don't even know what that means. Okay, Naraba says why you are getting emotional. You are making my heart sad. Have you said women like that are going to hell? Oh my God. All right. Yara says I am enough. That's true. Elijah says thank you. Call. Yara says women are grateful for people like you. Thank you so much. I'm grateful for people like you. Okay, I am enough. That's nice. Don't be sad. Please, all of you, just post on Facebook. Women are enough. Hashtag women are enough. I am enough. Just post. If you are hearing me, just post it. And then share the video. Post it. Or you can do a short video and say I am enough. Just that. Let it trend. Women are enough. They don't need validation of men. They don't need validation of titles. They don't need validation of money. They don't need anything to validate them. They don't need any makeup. I am enough. Women are enough. Please post it, share it, let it trend. All right, women are enough. We need to be intentional about supporting other women. I agree. All right, and I will talk about this in subsequent videos on Wednesdays. Please come join me on my lunch break. Let's talk about it. I'm a guy, and sometimes when it's heard from women, it validates the thing. You know, men sometimes, I do woman rising, and sometimes I'm not even allowed in certain events that we're doing, and it's fine. I'm okay. All right, love. Bye bye. I'll see you tomorrow 1 p.m. for lunch break with Ekow Mensah. Have a wonderful Wednesday. Remember, you are enough. Bye-bye.